We welcome you back to the Rittenmeyer Center here in Whiting. The reason why it's dark right now is because they're announcing the starting lineups, so we'll do that too here on the broadcast. These starting lineups are presented by Calumet College of St. Joseph, a place where you belong. Let's start with the visiting IU Northwest Redhawks. Their starters are this. Number 1, Trey Stinhilber, the junior from Valparaiso, Indiana. Number 2, LaDayon Barnes, the senior from Hammond, Indiana. Number 10, Amarion Johnson, the junior from Country Club Hills, Illinois, transferred from Moraine Valley Community College, one of the big transfers for this team. Number 22, Caleb Jenkins, the senior from Chicago. And number 23, Matthew Horde, the junior from Rockford. Transferred all around the place, but his most recent place was Milwaukee Area Technical College. Now let's take a look at CCSJ's starting lineup. Number 0, Cooper Aiken, the junior from the state of Washington. Number 3, Kyron Dock, the junior from Rockford. Number 4, Malik Petty, the junior from Chicago. Number 11, Tylen Tolliver, the junior from Tinley Park, Illinois. And then number 25, J. Caleb Slowensky, the graduate student from Chicago. And here we go. IU Northwest and Calumet, we're underway. IU Northwest in the all-red road uniforms. Calumet in the gray home unis. Remember, we had a women's game earlier, but the rules are different. 2 20-minute halves in the men's game. Wow, a spin shot. What a start there for Matthew Horde. Gets inside and finishes with an acrobatic layup to put IUN up 2-0. Question of the day is, can Calumet stay in this game? Oh, almost a lob up top to Doc. Couldn't find the end result. As IUN now trying to work. Calumet is playing man-to-man. Driving it inside is Johnson, and Amarion Johnson can't finish with the layup. The Moraine Valley Community College transfer. He was a huge rebounder last year over in the south suburbs of Illinois, or of Chicago. Go inside here, Slowensky. Can't end up making a big play here. He's the big part of this team. A three-pointer from the corner. Knockdown 3 from the corner for Kyron Dock, and Calumet is on the board. You know this game will be played at a very high tempo between these two teams. This will be a high-scoring game. IUN beat IU Columbus 78-61 last Saturday. And actually, CCSJ hasn't played since their loss by 4 against Grace Christian on Halloween night. That shot's off the mark, and here comes Malik Petty. Finding it over, in transition, a 3. Knockdown 3 for Cooper Aiken. And Calumet off to a flying start, 6-2. Since 2016, these two teams have played a lot. IUN has dominated the last few meetings, but CCSJ was dominating for the first 10 years of these two teams meeting. Cooper Aiken came from a great program, transferred from Highline College, and he was actually CCAC Player of the Week nominee last week in the conference, second in the conference in rebounding per game with 8.7. Fall-away shot, good. The silence, the Calumet bench, LaDayon Barnes. So 6-4, things slow down a little bit more as we're just about over 2 minutes into the game. Three-pointer on the way. Calumet had been perfect since up until that point. That's a reach and foul on Doc. Kyron Dock from Rockford, Illinois, transferred from Arkansas State Mid-South, grew up in Texas, Missouri City. Was hurt in the game against Evansville, but he's back now. He's been huge for the leadership, according to Coach Hawkins. Three-pointer off a screen on the way. Short on the shot, and off the mark by Barnes, looking for himself to get up to 5 points. Well, both of these teams are without some key players coming into this game. Quindarius Davis is actually playing football. He's preparing for the game tomorrow, the championship game against Mount Mary of the Woods tomorrow for Calumet. So he won't play for the team until next week. He was a huge sixth man of the year last year for Calumet. Now on the other side of things, IU Northwest missing Jamie Hodges, a huge superstar in the Northwest Indiana high school basketball landscape. He went down in the first game of the season, one of the first possessions with an ACL injury. He'll be out for the rest of the season, but he'll be back next year, ready to go. That shot off the mark on the attempt from Slowinski. Rebound to the Redhawks. Jenkins drops it off for Horde. Matthew Horde driving to the rim and slashing through. He's up to 4 points in the game so far, Matthew Horde. Didn't play for IU Northwest last season. He's from Rockford. He went to Milwaukee Area Technical College after transferring initially from Olive Harvey. That shot off the mark on the mid-range effort. Here comes Horde. He's a huge, huge addition to this team in the transfer window. That's what Coach Heredia talked about. In the post, it's Barnes. Puts up the shot. It's blocked inside by Tolliver. Now on the fast break, it's Doc. Kyron Doc flying to the rim. It's off the mark. Comes up just short. And now in transition, Amarion Johnson can't get control. Doc floats to the rim and finishes. He's got 5 of the first 8 points for Calumet in this game as IU Northwest ready to make a substitution here. Movement here for Horde. Defended tightly by Slowinski. Pump fake by Stinhilber. Going inside, it's Horde again. Can't finish on the floater. Rebounded by Malik Petty. CCSJ has a 3-on-2. Petty drives to the rim and finishes. Malik Petty going to need to have a big, big year this year for Calumet. Petty from Chicago, a junior, and there's a reach and foul there on Tolliver. Initially, Tolliver went to the College of DuPage, then transferred after a 9 points per game season to Waubonsee Community College, where he actually went up against some of the IU Northwest players who transferred from similar places, like Matthew Horde. But a lot of these players grew up in similar places. They played in high school. A lot of these players played initially in college. Some were even teammates. So a lot of rivalry between these two teams without the school's namesake. That shot off from Horde. Offensive rebound pulled in from Antonio Phillips, but he can't control it. Calumet gets a steal. Antonio Phillips, by the way, the junior transfer from Prairie State, checking into the game. Step back by Doc on the way. Short. Rebound tapped around, taken by Slowinski. Slowinski, great, great player for Calumet. Got a one-on-one and finishes. Slowinski's coming back after graduating last year. 4th in the conference with 19 points per game so far this season. 1st in the conference in rebounding. Fadeaway shot off the mark on the shot by Jenkins, and maybe IU Northwest might be in their best interest to slow things down. 3-pointer from Petty. That might have been deflected. It comes up short. Here comes Matthew Horde. Well, so far, Coach Javier Heredia in his 10th season not happy at what he's seeing out of his team. Driving inside. Can't finish on the shot by Phillips. In the second effort, there's a foul inside. I think that's going to be a shooting foul here. Well, that will be a media timeout. What a fast-paced opening 6 minutes of this game, and Calumet trying to pull out the upset to open conference play, up 12-6. Be back after this. Well, we welcome you back to Whiting. 12-6 lead for the Crimson Wave. Things are going to look a lot different this year for IUN. They won the regular season title last season in the CCAC, but they lost a ton of key players from last year. They lost 2 all-conference players and the Conference Player of the Year, Trace Williams, who's actually on the staff now for IUN after graduating. First shot from the line off the mark for Johnson. Amarion Johnson, like I mentioned before, transferred from Moraine Valley Community College. Had him in the summer after transferring, so he's had a long time to implement himself into this program and into the way they run things around here. That rebound deflects out of bounds. It'll go to Calumet. Marion Johnson's got a very interesting story. He didn't start playing basketball until he was in 8th grade. His teacher told him, hey, you should play basketball since you're tall. And he decided to take the advice of his teacher, and it has paid off very well for him. Here's Doc. Outside. Slowinski pump fakes. Gets to the free throw line. Jump shot off the mark. Rebound pulled in by Phillips. Driving it inside. Shot blocked inside by Aiken. Stinhilber was trying to take it himself. Wasn't able to get things to work out. Last year, Slowinski, all-conference second team for CCSJ. Bounce pass inside, and the layup goes, and finally IU Northwest have a little bit of life. It's Johnson. 12-8 is the score. There's Aiken, dumps it off. Deep three-pointer on the way. It's off the mark on the shot by Tolliver. Tolliver trying to get his three-point percentage up. Stinhilbert kicks it around to Horde. Here's Jenkins, hop step into the paint. Back outside, it's Horde. Three-pointer on the way. Jenkins can't get that one to fall. Rebound pulled in nicely from Tolliver. Oh, excuse me, that was actually Petty. Now it's Tolliver. Tolliver getting inside. Tylen Tolliver trying to make something happen here. And now the veteran, Slowinski, slows things down a little bit for Calumet. Jump shot on the way, and it goes in. Slowinski's averaged 12.1 points per game last season for Calumet. But this season, he's averaging 19 points per game, taking huge strides in his graduate season. No travel call. They get inside. Off the mark on the shot by Phillips. Rebound pulled in from the Crimson Wave. Think about what this would do for the confidence of Calumet. Early in the conference season, if they can upset the team that had formerly won the regular season crown in the CCAC last year, IU Northwest. On the way, it's Aiken. Straight on. It's off the mark. Rebound pulled in from Petty. They work it around again. Three-pointer from Slowinski from the right wing. And Slowinski's got 7 of the first 17 points for Calumet. That three-point basket was brought to you by Tech Credit Union. They're the better option for your financial journey. IU Northwest responds with a three-pointer from Stinhilber. Too much space. At least that's what Kyron Dock thought. That shot's off the mark. And here comes Steinhilber. Had a three on the last possession. Risky pass. It goes into the hands of Matthew Horde. In the corner, wide open look for three. And it's knocked down from the left corner from Johnson. Timeout, Calumet. It's 17-14. What a start. Fast-paced start. Really exciting. They will take a Doc's Barbecue timeout. Take a moment, let it simmer. And we'll take a moment and take a break. Be right back with a 3-point Calumet lead. We welcome you back to the Rittenmeyer Center. Crosstown rivals going at it. 17-14, Calumet leading it over IU Northwest. IU Northwest swept the meeting between these two teams last season. Calumet looking for a win here. IUN is 8-2 in the last 10 matchups against Calumet. But Calumet has a winning record at home, 6-4. Great move by Slowinski. Gets inside. Slowinski, I mean, that's some serious size on the inside. It's hard to stop him. He's looking to be first team all-conference, maybe even conference player of the year with the rate he's going at right now. Here's Horde spinning inside. Horde, well defended there. Getting inside, tough shot on the way, off the mark from LaDayon Barnes. They get the rebound, though. They can reset as we're halfway through the first quarter. Swing pass across, and here's Barnes. Beats it to the outside. It's Adam Eastland. And Eastland can't get it to go. Rebound pulled in by, looks like Brian Gatewood, just checked into the game for Calumet. The senior from Louisville, Kentucky. And there's an illegal screen there going on Calumet. Abdoulaye Ba is called for the illegal screen. Abdoulaye Ba, 7.7 points per game this season for Calumet. Has a lot of experience that'll help him. He was the CCSJ Defensive Player of the Week nominee last week. He didn't get the award, but he was in consideration by the conference. Horde steps into the paint, jumps into the paint, hops into the paint, and finishes. Horde has 8 points. That leads the way for the Redhawks. Horde doesn't even lead the team in scoring. That's Caleb Jenkins that does so far. Swing it across on the way, and the shot is good, but it's an illegal screen again on Calumet. It's going to go on Gatewood. Gatewood is great off the bench, 7.3 points per game this season. The senior from, of course, like I mentioned, Louisville, Kentucky. Played for Jefferson High School. This is a media timeout, 9:05 to play, first half, 19-16 Calumet in a tightly contested rivalry game here on the Heartland Sports Network. Calumet slowing things down a little bit, running the half-court set. Pump fake by Ba, get it back outside. Nice control by Aiken. Gatewood, as Hawkins changes the play, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Getting inside, nice floater to the rim off the mark by Gatewood. Rebound pulled in from Horde. Still a 3-point game, but Calumet feels like they should be up by a lot more as Horde ties the game. And Horde is on fire. He's already got 11 of the 19 points scored by IUN. And we're all tied up at 19. Gatewood kicks it up top. Ba, mid-range jumper on the way, off the mark. Rebound pulled in, and here comes Phillips. Up ahead, Eastland. That pass in and out of the hands of Phillips. And a turnover by IU Northwest. That's not what Coach wants to see. They come into this game with 46 total turnovers. On the season, they played 3 games. Slowinski, he likes these one-on-one matchups, but that shot just a little off the mark. IUN can take the lead for the first time in this game, but another turnover. Another turnover by IUN. They get down low, and a stuff at the rim by Ba. First dunk we've seen tonight. I'm assuming there will be many more to come. They want the shot clock at 28. The Calumet bench is hype. Abdoulaye Ba, the grad transfer, has played at multiple different schools, dunks it down on that one. Played at Lake Michigan College as a he actually played there 2 seasons and was third-team all-conference, transferred to William and Penn University, and came to Calumet this season. But the thing about it is that he's been able to implement himself into the lineup, which has been a big help in getting him acclimated and ready to go for the season. Pump fake on the way. It's Barnes knifing to the rim. That one might have been partially deflected by Ba, who got the block. Here comes Kyron Dock. Kicks it to the corner. Three-pointer on the way. It's money from the corner. Tylen Tolliver gets his first 3 points of the game, and Calumet all of a sudden are on a 5-0 run. When the game needs electricity, count on powering Indiana. And a near turnover, and a turnover. It's a steal by Petty. Gets it ahead to Doc. And he's fouled on the process by Jaden Lee, who just checked into the game for IUN, averaging 4.3 points per game. The turnovers are really, really racking up for IUN. They now have 5 turnovers on the game. So far, they're averaging just over 12 turnovers per game. Coach Jason Hawkins just told Kyron Dock to dunk on them next time instead of going up for the layup. I don't disagree with it. Dock comes up short on the free throw. Kyron Dock transferred from, like I mentioned, Arkansas State Mid-South. He's playing against some of his high school rivals who play for IUN, and some people that he's played against from the Rockford area where he grew up and played. So obviously he knows some of these guys. He knows how they play. He knows their tendencies, which could help a lot, but it also could make it tougher on him. 0 for 2 from the line, though, for Dock. That pass inside deflected by Dock. It's another turnover for IUN. They're sick to the game. Get it inside to Ba. And Ba's fouled by Jaden Lee. And Jaden Lee just came off the bench, by the way. And he's already picked up 2 early fouls right off the bench. It's like IUN looking to make some more substitutions here. It looks like Trey Steinhilbert coming back into the game here as Ba's going to go to the line for 2 free throws. 4 for 6 from the charity stripe in this season. And that one takes a nice bounce off the back of the rim and falls for his first points of the game. So we see Steinhilbert check back in. Also, Marion Johnson also checking back into the game for IUN, replacing Jaden Lee, who's now in early foul trouble. Ba goes 1 for 2. Still a 6-point game. It could be a lot worse for IUN, but they need to get themselves back in this game. The turnovers have hurt them a lot. Great move inside, and then coming up short on the shot is Jenkins. Here's Tolliver. Gets it in the post for Slowinski. This is not what IUN wants, because Slowinski can do that. He can take advantage of it. And he's got 9 early points. Horde has 11. Slowinski has 9. Those are the leading scorers in the game for both teams. And here's Horde. Horde kicks it outside to Barnes. Doubled up. 5 on the shot clock here. It's got to be Matthew Horde. He's got to make the play. And a foul as the shot clock was at 1 second on Malik Petty. First foul on Petty, but that bails IUN out of a tough situation. You love to see the assistant coaches and the head coach for Calumet getting so hype over there on the sideline. They're the most hype people right now in the entire arena. They are extremely hype right now. There's an offensive foul on IUN. The turnovers are ramping up. And this IUN sideline, or at least the bench, is getting very upset and irritated and angry because of the way that their team is playing right now. They have 7 turnovers here in the first half. They're, at this rate, going to easily reach their turnovers per game total that they've had this season. I mean, IUN took a 21st-ranked Indiana Tech team down to the wire. Here's Slowinski. That's denied inside. And I think we might get a foul on that play on Marion Johnson. That is a foul on Johnson. Well, before Slowinski goes to the free throw line for 2 free throws, we will take a break. Under 5 minutes to play in the opening half, and Calumet meaning business here in the conference opener, up 8 points. We'll be back after this. We welcome you back here. 27-19, Calumet in the lead. Slowinski ready to take 2 free throws. Man, oh man, Javier Heredia is furious right now. And I don't blame him. His team has not played the way that he expected coming into this game. The turnovers have really allowed CCSJ to go on a big run as Slowinski gets the first free throw to fall. This is not how he envisioned this game to start. Lucky for him, there's still 25 minutes to play, a little bit less than that. He said it was going to be a tough game. He was not wrong. 29-19, Calumet, their biggest lead of the game. It's 10. Almost another turnover. It's another turnover. And a foul on LaDayon Barnes. Oh, my goodness. Can't even imagine what Heredia is going through right now in his mind. He's keeping it cool, calm, collected right now, but in the timeout when he was talking to his team, he was screaming at them. But he has high expectations. He's in his 10th season, and the success that this program has had Sometimes you have to be a hard coach to be successful. Sometimes you got to be hard on your team. If they're making mistakes. Shot off the mark on the shot by Petty. Rebound pulled in from IUN. If IUN wants to make this an interesting ball game at halftime, which I'm not saying that it would be too much for them to overcome, but they need to win the last 4.5 minutes. There's another turnover as Horde tried to find Steinhilber and just turned it over. I don't know what more Coach Heredia could say to his team to stop the turnovers. I mean, he said it all. He's been very animated. Here's Petty. Petty picked up his dribble, jumps it off. Jump shot on the way. It's short and off the mark by Tolliver. These misses are keeping IUN in the game despite the turnovers. Steinhilber fouled by Petty. Coach talked about, at least Coach Heredia, that the makeup of both of these teams is very, very similar. As Cooper Aiken checks back into the game for Malik Petty. Petty picked up a second foul, but he said that the build of both of these teams is very similar. They both recruit locally. They both got some transfers from other JUCO and NAIA colleges, maybe even Division II as well from IUN. But they're both pretty evenly matched, and on paper you'd expect this game to be pretty close. As Steinhilber gets the first one to go because IUN is in the bonus. It was a 1-and-1. Now this shot is his second, and Steinhilber gets it to go. He has 6 points. He went to Boone Grove High School, which is a local high school here in Northwest Indiana. Didn't have to go too far away from home. Three-pointer on the way. It's short. I think it might have been deflected by Amarion Johnson. That shot was short by Tolliver. He got a really good look. But Johnson, with his long arms, his verticality, able to get a piece of it. Here's Horde. Jenkins. Barnes. Barnes, that was a tough shot. Really good defense there by Kyron Dock. And it's Dock bringing it ahead. Dock likes to use his speed to his advantage. Dumps it off to Ba. Ba's blocked inside. Big block by Johnson. His second block in as many possessions. Here's Steinhilber. Kicks it. Around they go to Horde. Pump fake. Corner three on the way. Johnson. Oh, that would have been huge for IUN. It's off the mark. Here's Doc. Swings it around. Aiken is wide open from three. And a miss. Cooper Aiken got about as wide open as he possibly could have. But sometimes when you're more wide open, sometimes you second guess yourself and you overestimate a shot. Oh, coming up short is Steinhilber. On the floater, I mean, there's been points in this game where IUN has just not had the 50-50 chances go their way. There's Aiken. Going to get a foul on the floor inside. I think this one's going to go on Jenkins, and it will. Pop Indiye, excuse me. Pop Indiye from France. I'm not going to lie, ladies and gentlemen at home. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the town that he's from in France. I just butcher it. But he is from France, and he went to the C. Maurice Elio. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. It is a school in France. But he checks into the game now for Calumet. He's got a lot of size. He's 6'7", and he's a junior. The first shot from the free throw line goes in from Slowensky. Second shot off the mark. So a 9-point game. 2:20 to play in the first half. IUN has not been able to dictate the game like they have and like they're used to. Steinhilber. Pump fakes. Corner three on the way. And it's money for Steinhilber. And he looks down Kyron Dock after he made the three. Maybe a little bit of trash talking going on between these two teams. I wouldn't be surprised. Kyron Dock. Indiye. Here is Tolliver driving inside. Shot won't fall. Rebound inside, taken by Jenkins. And IUN has a minute and a half to try to cut into this lead. They're down by 6. Jenkins gets an open look from the left wing, and IUN's right back in the game. Caleb Jenkins, and it's a 3-point game. With a minute 20 to play in the first half, did you expect IUN to go down without a fight? Not at all. Slowinski pulls up just inside the arc. Shot off the mark. Rebound to the Redhawks. They can tie the game with a 3. Driving it inside. Dumps it off. On the way up. And a foul. Plus the basket for Amarion Johnson. And all of a sudden, IUN can tie the game with a free throw here. IUN second in the conference in field goal percentage with 50%. First in the conference in three-point percentage with 37%. First in free throw percentage with 75%. They're at the top of many, many categories in the CCAC. That's what they expect to be this year. Marion Johnson can tie the game. And we're all tied at 30. Look at this run from IUN. When the game needs electricity, count on powering Indiana. They're right back in it. It's a 9-0 run to the Redhawks. We're all tied up at 30. There's an offensive foul on Calumet. IUN will get the ball back. Man, how quickly things have changed. Basketball is a game of runs. And IUN's on a huge run here. By the way, that's the second foul on Tylen Tolliver. He'll have to check out of the game, and Brian Gatewood comes in. You don't want to have some of your guys in foul trouble this early on in the game. Just wanted to mention Caleb Jenkins, the starter for IUN. The senior has 2 fouls as well, but they'll keep him in the game right now. Here we go, 53 seconds. Man, how happy Javier Heredia would be, the head coach for IUN, if they can take the lead at halftime. The way they've played in this first half hasn't been up to his standards. There's a travel. You just don't see that very often from IUN, and Amarion Johnson makes a mistake, and he pats himself on the chest because he knew that was on him. Johnson was number 1 amongst JUCO players in blocks with over 100 last season at Moraine Valley. He averaged 10.8 points per game last season, earned back-to-back all-conference honors. He's a stud coming into a flourishing program. Three-pointer from the corner off the mark, and look at Ba flying in there. And he throws it out of bounds to try to save it. Timeout IUN. This is their first of the half. We'll keep it here 30-30 as the tie is the score. But man, IUN has just brought themselves right back in this game, and their star, Matthew Horde, has been the reason. He has had a great start to the game. He has 12 points so far for IUN. But Trey Steinhilber, when CCSJ started doubling up Matthew Horde, has made some big plays, and he currently has 9 points. Marion Johnson currently has 8. And for CCSJ, they've went cold, but J. Caleb Slowinski leads the way at the moment with 11 points. And it's 5 points for Kyron Dock. He's the second scorer on the team. You could say, man, oh man, Calumet wishes that they had Quindarius Davis, who's playing in the football championship game tomorrow for Calumet. But also, IUN is without Jamie Hodges, who was the all-time leading scorer in the history of Michigan City High School, tore his ACL. He's taking a red shirt this season. No shot clock for IUN, 15 seconds. Here's Horde, works it around. Zone defense, by the way, for Calumet. 6 seconds, they gotta hurry. They're running out of time with 3 seconds. They're gonna have to hoist one at the buzzer, it's blocked. Great defense by Calumet. Brian Gatewood off the bench with a big defensive play. And this rivalry game has everything going for it right now. We're all tied up at 30 at halftime. We'll be back shortly for some halftime stats. But for now, we'll be right back. 30-30 between Calumet and IUN here on the Heartland Sports Network.